It's been 6 years. I was 17 when I was abused for the first time by an ex-boyfriend, or a boyfriend at the time. This is so hard to talk about. The abuse went on for a good 6 months, and after that first time, I had 2 other very abusive relationships. And so the first part of my life when I was dating people wasn't the best. I didn't have the best kind of foundation for dating. I was going through a lot in my life with my family, and I'm not going to say that I was susceptible or an easy target, but there's no excuse for these person's actions, but I was going through a very hard time then, and so I was an easy target for these people. I got out of all of those extremely abusive relationships when I was 19, and it's been years since then. When I was first out of those relationships, when I was first out into a safe relationship, a safe environment, I started getting flashbacks. And that's very common for trauma victims, abuse survivors. The first part of my recovery with that and kind of working through what happened to me, I was getting flashbacks like all of the time, multiple times a day. There wasn't a day where I wasn't thinking about it. Now, 6 years later, I'm so much better, but I still have those days where something triggers me and I'm back to square one. I'm not back to square one, but I'm getting flashbacks again. And I kind of want to talk about them now that I'm getting them back again because they're fresh in my memory, and I kind of want to talk about what it's like to have a flashback. Because you see in the movies, gets a flashback and you see kind of like a movie script going on in their head of the abuse happening. And it's similar to that, but I kind of want to explain how I get flashbacks, what it feels like to get a flashback, to raise awareness for it. Because I've never seen a video like this. I've never seen anyone talk about it, and I kind of want to talk about it because it's a weird thing to talk about. And it's something very, very personal to me. It's something that in my recovery journey, and I really want to share it with you. I've been contemplating all day making this video, and I decided I'm going to do it. It's going to help others feel not alone if they're experiencing flashback. Now, I perceive my flashbacks in 2 parts. Part 1 is the flashback. I either see, smell, feel, hear something that reminds me of my abuse, and I instantly get a flashback. Now, when I say flashback, it's not just a movie reel in my head. That's part of it. Like, I feel like the abuse is happening again, or I feel like I'm back in that place. For me, my movie reel in my head, and I don't know if any of you guys can relate to this, it's like an out-of-body experience. I'm not reliving it as I'm seeing it through my eyes. I feel like I'm reliving it as I'm seeing it through someone else's eyes looking above. It's weird, but that's how I experience it. So you also have the movie reel side in your head where you're thinking about the event that is happening or happened to you, and then you're feeling it. Movies don't talk about this. I've never seen a TV show talk about the feelings you get when you get a flashback. You have that dread feeling. It's like you are experiencing the abuse again. You could be experiencing the physical symptoms of kind of like a fight or flight response, whether that be a rapid heart rate, you're sweating a lot, you start panicking, you start having racing thoughts like the abuse is, or the event is actually happening again. This can cause panic attacks, anxiety attacks, or this can just cause anxiety symptoms in general. So the second part of my flashback, I like to call the aftershock. And I've never seen anyone talk about this, but for me, I experience this a lot when I get triggered. And the aftershock is after you have the flashback. For me personally, I'm never at full balance after a flashback. Either I get more flashbacks because if I have one, it's easier to go down that road of just getting more and more and more and more and more. Think about the abuse, I go down this like spiral, and that could last anywhere from a few hours, a few days to a week. And it's really hard to get out of. Not a lot of people talk about the aftershock of having a flashback, being triggered, still experiencing this dread and still thinking about the abuse even after the flashback. And it can bring up some pretty raw emotions. So there are a few things that I like to do to cope with this aftershock, I like to call it. One of the things I like to do is talking about it, either to a friend, to my therapist, or writing about it in my journal. I've written about my abuse, whole story of my abuse, maybe 20 times in my journal. I don't want anyone to see it because it's something really personal to me. It's a personal event that happened to me, and it's something that even 6 years later, it's really, really hard to talk about with other people. I've been going to therapy for it. I've been trying to get it out. If you are an abuse victim, anything of that sort, I would highly highly suggest therapy. It's very beneficial. I was also in a support group for survivors, and that was really hard at first, but it's really good to know that you're not alone in this. This part of my life story is something that I don't like to share a lot. I just don't. I still feel weak. I still feel like I shouldn't talk about it because my abusers told me that I shouldn't talk about it. That's still so ingrained in my brain. And so even making this video, I have this sense that I shouldn't be talking about it. And if you are an abuse victim, you know what it's like to feel that you can't talk about this with anyone, or there's no one to relate to you. And I want you to know that there are people out there who know what you're going through. It's absolutely okay to reach out for help. It is hard. I know your barriers. I understand what you're going through, and I know how hard it is, and I know how much you're struggling. And flashbacks can be something that are so devastating in our recovery because you think that you're gonna get better, or you are better, and you're not thinking about the abuse, and you're in a good relationship or a good environment, and you're fine. And then you have a nightmare, or you have some sort of flashback. Either you see a movie, like I did last night. I saw a movie, and then the part of the movie greatly triggered me, and it's still with me. Or you heard something or smelled something or saw them again, and you feel like you're back to square one. Know that you are not back at square one. Know that you are strong enough to continue. And this is just a minor setback in your recovery. If you have been a victim of any abuse, I'm gonna leave some links down below to some resources or places that can help you. I really hope this video helped you kind of feel not alone. I know it was a bit ranty, but that's just where my brain is right now when I get my flashbacks and I'm in this brain mindset. It's very hard to stop thinking about it. Yeah, but I hope this was helpful. You are a survivor and in recovery. What are some ways to help you get back onto recovery after a flashback? Because that's something that I would really like to know. And I know a lot of people come to this channel because they're trying to find that community of people who understand. I think our community is amazing because we offer so many amazing resources and insights and perspectives on things. What works for you could help somebody else. So I really hope you put something down there. The video is probably not going to be monetized, and I'm not going to be making any money off of it because it's not advertiser friendly. So if you would like to contribute to my channel or tip me in any way so I can continue making these really important videos, Patreon is right here. I offer some great rewards, or you can just tip me however much you want. It's a one-time thing. I would greatly appreciate it, and it would really help our community out. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. Please stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.